And I just want to wrap this up by saying that for the rest of our lives, I just want to be friends. Plus a little extra. Also, I love you.
So the universe is really sticking it to you with the worst of times part of your promise, but you're showing it that you're up for the challenge. In case you didn't know, when Lois and Cameron got engaged in the summer of 2019, and I'll tell you that's now 27 months ago, they wanted a short engagement. Nailed it! Nailed it, yeah.
I want to talk about Thanksgiving, and not the holiday, but Thanksgiving. Thinking about what we need to give thanks for. Been a tough year, right? A lot going on. A lot of us have lost people or friends. It's just been interesting.
The one thing that came out of the pandemic was that I got to really become close with Lois. Anyways, I got to spend more than enough time that I ever needed with them. No, I'm just kidding. It turned something that was disastrous into a very enjoyable moment.
There's also the fact that throughout all that, people like Lois and Cameron and the rest of us have pursued dreams, careers, finished schooling, you name it. I would encourage Lois and Cameron to think about what can I be grateful for, what am I thankful for, and if you forget to do that, just remember that you get what you give.
I thought Lois would be more into planning her wedding than she actually was. I thought Lois would be very type A about her wedding, and I thought she would have it down to the minute. I thought, yeah, that's what I thought was happening. And then last year during the pandemic, when we were kind of doing nothing, Lois was like, I mean, I don't really know. Should I do it here? I don't know what the flowers are gonna, I don't know who's gonna sit where, and I was shocked. Well, Lois always said she would have her wedding catered by Taco Bell, first of all, with a nacho cheese fountain. She has a Pinterest board for her wedding that I've been on for a couple years. It looks nothing like the wedding we're currently having. The centerpieces are all it has a lot of books in it, and the centerpieces were all book art or something to do with books, or it was outside and there was an arch made of books. There's no books upstairs. It's photos. I remember when I was a kid, she and her friends were just nuts. And I think she's calmed down a little. There's this really specific memory I've been thinking a lot about lately. She was cleaning out her room to go to college, and she had this really old Victoria's Secret body spray that she gave me. It was watermelon something, and it had a bow on the plastic bottle. And the first time I sprayed it, I was like, it smells like Lois. I was like, I get to smell like Lois. Now she uses some kind of fancy schmancy perfume. Cameron bought her some Versace, but she started out on Victoria's Secret watermelon. She's always there for me. She's like a sister, because I'm an only child, and I've always been closest to Lois, even though she's 9 years older than me. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the first thing I noticed about Cam was that he's just a good-hearted person, and so why wouldn't you want to hang out with somebody that's just a genuine, nice human being, aside from all the shitty shit that he does to his friends? But
as soon as we started talking, it was it clicked, you know? And I think that's kind of the way it is with all of us. Our group of friends is just it just happens like that.
There's a certain dynamic that we all just kind of click, and we can have the same sense of humor. That helps a lot as well, yeah.
And you can totally be yourself, and there's no I mean, there's judgment for sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of judgment.
But at the end of the day, no one's really, it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it's always like whenever I hang out with the group of people, it's like everything else just falls by the wayside. You know, work, whatever. We're just having fun at the time, and then you can worry about the real world after, you know, Monday morning. Well, I kind of feel like Cam and Lois are like, Mom, that's weird to say, but you know,
Just say,
of the group,
just say
they're
Cam's
like,
your father.
they're the ones like we're at their house, and you
I
know,
want them to adopt me.
Yeah, it's basically is what I'm trying to get at is Cam and Lois.
I'm scared of Lois.
Which you should be. We've actually gotten to keep in touch and actually meet up, you know, quite a
Yeah, I
bit,
think
so.
we grew, at least from my perspective, we grew closer together during the whole COVID epidemic because they were my family at that point. It was the most people I saw and friends that I got to see. So I was very, very grateful to be able to do all that. So, and whenever we do see each other, we definitely know that we're not adults anymore.
So last year at their first ceremony, Cam invited me, so it was really cool to be with them for that, and then to see, like we talked about, like hang out with them all year and see their kind of first year of marriage, and now we're here, you know, celebrating the real big celebration. So I'm really glad they got to do this.
Yeah.
Just really glad to be a part of it. They've become some of my closest friends over the years. Definitely hope that we can be celebrating more years and anniversaries and celebrations together with them.
Though I want to tell you all about a very particular phone call out of the thousands that I've had with Lois over the years. And I remember very clearly a quiet intensity of her voice when she called me after meeting this guy at a bar in Kirksville. She described him as hardworking, smart, good-looking, charming, and punny. And she already felt pretty sure that she wanted to keep him around for the long haul. Well, wouldn't you know that just a few weeks after that, she met Cameron. No. Of course, Cam was the special person she called to tell me about. And since then, our family has been getting to know Cameron better and better, and he has confirmed Lois's first impressions time and again. Cameron, I am happy to call you my brother. Lois, it's wonderful that you found someone who gets your quirky sense of humor, who values your authenticity and your immense inner beauty, who can so easily access that part of you that makes you throw your head back and laugh with your whole body, who obviously cares for you beyond measure, and who maybe even worships the ground you walk on.
Lois, throughout my life, I've had difficult times that have come close to breaking me. Whenever those situations arose, it was always you I leaned into. I love how we have grown together. You are my port in a storm, and I am so grateful to have you. Lois, I vow to give you a home full of laughter and joy. I vow to put the dogs to bed at least 20% of the time, but I also vow to let them out about 80% of the time in the morning so you can sleep in. I vow to unload the dishwasher, knowing how much you hate that. I vow to sit in bed, happily watching you and your 45-minute bedtime routine every night I can. And I vow to never stop teasing you about that bedtime routine. But most of all, I vow to love you and care for you the rest of my life. I vow to be that safe harbor for you as well.
Okay. So, I had really big plans for these wedding vows. I had over a year and a half to write them, and yet I didn't. I had joked that this was going to be a Friday morning kind of thing, but actually it was a Friday afternoon kind of thing. One of the most important things I've learned from you is how to go out of my comfort zone. Moving away, starting new things, letting people in instead of shying away. Going into lakes, we're still working on that because we all know something is lurking in the water. We just can't see it. Freshwater sharks. I'm just saying. From that very first night, I've always known that I like spending time with you. We still love watching movies together, and I love cooking with you. Or, let me rephrase, I love drinking wine and watching you cook. I can't promise you that we'll always have good days. In fact, some of them might be really bad. But I can promise you that I'll always come back to you, and I will always try to make things better. It might not happen immediately, or maybe even within a couple of hours, but I will always try to make it better.
Cameron and Lois, in expressing your vows before this loving gathering of family and friends, and before me as your legal witness, it is my pleasure and privilege to announce that you are husband and wife, wife and husband. Go ahead.
Come this way. Round two, round two.
This year, they joked quite a bit that it was a trial period. Because they had their COVID wedding last year, and this year was their actual, wedding. But I'm sorry to tell you guys, your trial's ended, and now you're stuck.
Clearly, you've got the loving partner basics down. So to wrap it up, I'd like to share with you some hopes I have for you personally for the rest of your married life. I hope that you practice open, clear, and kind communication with each other. I hope that you keep finding the courage and the strength to face challenging times head on, maintaining love and compassion. I hope that you can always feel a little bit of the excitement of those early days together and that intensity that I picked up on that phone call through Lois's voice. And finally, I hope you recognize and remember that you have literally hundreds of people who want the best for you and who are here to support you. And in fact, I'd like for you to just take a few seconds right now to just look out at this room. Even stand up, the two of you, please. Stand up and look around. We are your support system, and we are in this with you however you need us. We love you. Thank you again for letting us be a part not only of your celebration today, but also of the incredible, unique life you're creating together. I love you, and I'm honored to be a part of it. To Lois and Cameron.